The ancient origin of the chakra system, from the Vedas to modern consciousness. To understand the chakra system, we must journey back a few thousand years to the dawn of the Vedas. Long before temples or written philosophy, India's sages, known as the Rishis, entered states of deep meditation where sound itself seemed to reveal the structure of reality. What they heard became the Vedas, humanity's oldest surviving body of sacred knowledge, composed between roughly 1500 and 500 BCE. The word Veda means knowledge, not invented, but discovered. These texts are not mythic poetry alone. They are records of perception. And within them lies the earliest seed of what we now call the chakra system. Truth 1. The Vedic Genesis. The Rig Veda, likely composed before 1200 BCE, describes the cosmos as a wheel, a chakra, turning eternally through space. Hymn 1.164 speaks of one wheel with 12 spokes, symbolizing the solar year, cosmic order, and the motion of life itself. That same Sanskrit word, chakra, later came to describe the subtle wheels of energy within the human being. The seers saw no separation between the outer sky and the inner body. The rotation of planets mirrored the rotation of awareness. In this sense, the chakra system is the inward continuation of Vedic cosmology, the microcosmic wheel reflecting the macrocosmic law. Truth 2. The Upanishadic expansion. By 800 BCE, the early Upanishads began mapping what they called the subtle body, a field of life force threads known as Nadis. The Chandogya Upanishad 8.6.6 mentions 101 channels leading from the heart, while the Prashna Upanishad 3.6 expands this to 72,000. These were not metaphors, they were descriptions of living experience. Each channel carried prana, the vital energy animating every breath and thought. And at the center of these channels was said to run the suṣumnā, the vertical current of consciousness rising along the spine. According to scholar Gavin Flood, 1996, this marked a pivotal transition in human understanding. Awareness itself was being studied as a system. Truth 3. The marriage of Shiva and Shakti. As Vedic thought evolved into what we now call yoga and Tantra, consciousness was personified as Shiva, pure awareness, and energy as Shakti, creative power. Around the 4th to 6th century CE, texts like the Yoga Kundalini Upanishad and later the Tantras described their union through the awakening of Kundalini, the coiled energy at the base of the spine. When this force rises through the central channel and passes the chakras, the yogi experiences liberation, moksha. As Georg Feuerstein, 1998, notes, this imagery was both mystical and anatomical, a psycho-spiritual science grounded in the body's subtle physiology. Truth 4. From sound to form. Each chakra came to be associated with a sacred syllable, a bija mantra, reflecting the Vedic belief that sound underlies creation. The Shiva Samhita, circa 15th century CE, describes 6 primary chakras, while the Sat Chakra Nirupana of Purnananda, 1526 CE, defines the familiar 7. The 20th century translator Sir John Woodruff, writing as Arthur Avalon in The Serpent Power, 1918, introduced these tantric mappings to the Western world, emphasizing their scientific precision and psychological depth. Truth 5. Science of the subtle body. In Sanskrit, chakra literally means wheel, but contextually it signifies a vortex, a dynamic intersection of consciousness and energy. Each chakra corresponds to specific physiological centers. The root to the adrenal glands, the sacral to reproductive organs, the solar plexus to digestion and will, the heart to the thymus and empathy, the throat to thyroid and expression, the brow to the pituitary and intuition, and the crown to the pineal, the bridge between biology and light. Modern physiology recognizes these areas as endocrine hubs. Ancient yogis recognized them as the gears of consciousness itself. Truth 6. Resonance and frequency. The Vedas taught that the universe is vibration, Shabda Brahman, the word as reality. Today, physics echoes that vision. Matter and energy are frequency fields in resonance. Each chakra vibrates within an energetic spectrum, much like musical notes in an octave. Brainwave research suggests parallels. Delta waves mirror root stability. Theta mirrors creativity and dream. Alpha synchronizes with heart coherence. And gamma with transcendent states of unity. Dr. Hiroshi Motoyama, a Japanese physiologist and yogi, attempted to measure these energetic patterns in the 1970s, correlating chakra activation with changes in electrodermal activity. Later, Dr. Valerie Hunt at UCLA, 1980s, recorded frequency fields from the human body up to 200,000 hertz, noting distinct signatures during meditative states. Though not mainstream science, their work suggests that the ancients may have been mapping functional psychophysiology long before modern instruments. Truth 7. Consciousness as geometry. Each chakra is traditionally visualized as a lotus with a specific number of petals. 4, 6, 10, 12, 16, 2, and 1000. Symbolizing the harmonics of vibration and the unfolding of awareness. These geometric ratios correspond to mathematical patterns also found in sound harmonics, crystalline forms, and even neural networks. As scholar Christopher Wallace, 2012, observes, tantric diagrams like the Sri Yantra encode fractal symmetries that mirror both cosmic and cognitive order. In essence, the human nervous system is a living yantra, a self-organizing geometry tuned by breath, attention, and sound. Truth 8. The psychology of evolution. Modern psychology now views the chakra model as a metaphor for human development. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs parallels the vertical ascent from root survival to crown transcendence. Carl Jung wrote in 1932 that the chakras represent a symbolic system of transformation, tracing the journey from instinct to intellect to spirit. He saw Kundalini as a bridge between Eastern introspection and Western individuation, the awakening of the self through integration, not escape. Truth 9. The chakra system as universal design. Across cultures, similar energy maps appear. The Chinese Dantian, the Hebrew Sephirot, the Greek concept of pneuma, and the Egyptian Ka and Ba. Each expresses the same discovery, that life is layered frequency seeking coherence. The chakras are not an Indian belief system. They are a universal observation rendered through the poetic language of the Vedas. Integration, the inner Veda. When the Rig Veda spoke of the wheel that turns within the heavens, it was also describing the wheel that turns within the spine. When the Upanishads said, "The self is smaller than a grain of rice, yet greater than the sky," they were pointing to consciousness itself, the field that contains both observer and observed. The yogic path of tuning breath and awareness is therefore not mystical escape, but empirical alignment. Yoga, from the root yuj, means to yoke, to bring into union. It is the same science of synchronization that physicists now study as resonance and coherence. Truth 10. The living bridge between body and cosmos. The chakra system demonstrates that human consciousness is not confined within the skull. It is a standing wave that interacts continuously with environment and cosmos. When one chakra dominates, imbalance arises, biologically as stress, emotionally as anxiety, spiritually as confusion. When all centers harmonize, intelligence flows freely as compassion, creativity, and clarity. In modern neurocardiology, researchers like Dr. Roland McCready, 2017, describe heart coherence, a measurable synchronization between heartbeat, brain waves, and emotion. The ancients described the same phenomenon as anahata, the unstruck sound, the vibration of balance and love. The cosmic pulse within. From the Vedas' hymns of fire and dawn to the Tantra's inner geometries of light, the same truth resounds. The universe is alive within us. Every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of awareness is a dialogue between the infinite and the intimate. The chakra system is not ancient superstition. It is an instruction manual for coherence, for remembering that consciousness and cosmos are one movement. As the rishis said in the Rig Veda, "From the unreal, lead us to the real. From darkness, lead us to light. From death, lead us to immortality." The same forces that move the stars move through you. The body is not apart from the cosmos. It is its living echo. Breathe gently. You are listening to the universe, remembering itself. Thanks for tuning into The Conscious Vibe. If this resonated, like, share, or send it to someone you know. And don't forget to subscribe for deeper drops, sharper insights, and future-shaping ideas. Hit subscribe. Stay curious. We're all flying through space together. The future belongs to the conscious. See you in the next one. The Conscious Vibe, where science meets the sacred.